Next up is Legnica, a not so popular Polish city near Wrocław that honestly feels a bit spooky. Today we'll check out a famous abandoned hospital, try żurek at a cozy local spot, and of course soak up the vibe of the old town. Enjoy the video! Legnica isn't exactly a small Polish city. It's located in Lower Silesia, near Wrocław, and has almost 100,000 residents. I don't know about you, but I personally heard about this place only after moving to Wrocław, when Andrew and I were planning our filming trip around the region. Legnica actually made an impression on us, that's why you're watching this video. You can get there from Wrocław by train. Our trip took about an hour and cost 22 zlotys per person. If you thought we'd start our walk from the old town, not this time. Legnica has something even more intriguing. Welcome to the abandoned military hospital, a creepy, dangerous, but very atmospheric and fascinating place. The hospital complex was built by the Germans in 1929. After the war, it was taken over by the Soviet army. At its peak, the hospital could treat up to 650 patients at the same time, and surprisingly, the place was actually thriving, as strange as it might sound when we are talking about a hospital. But in 1993, it was abandoned. They couldn't sell it, and renovations were too expensive, so the whole place slowly fell into decay. At first, there was still security, but even that eventually disappeared, which only made things worse. We are not just in a hospital, it's more like a whole hospital town, with lots of buildings and departments. Exploring all of it could take a whole day, but we are short on time, so let's take a quick walk through the most interesting parts. The first building we entered is the main hospital wing, the largest one in the whole complex. This is where the isolation ward used to be, with an infectious diseases department that treated patients. The building has 3 floors and a basement, which we'll hopefully check out too. To be honest, I thought we'd at least run into a few people here. I mean, it's a weekend. I figured there'd be some curious visitors, maybe a bit quirky like us, but nope, it's completely empty. I'm not even sure if that's a good or a bad thing. You never know who you might run into a place like this. As you've probably guessed, the next building is the sports pool, probably one of the most atmospheric places here because it's so spacious and empty, plus in the middle there's a pool filled with trash, stagnant water and all sorts of strange things. Water is leaking everywhere. You can also check out the changing rooms, well, what's left of them, the ruins of the lockers and showers. It really feels like this place has burned down. We passed by and you could see the blackened areas. It's dark, but still interesting, and I think you'll find it intriguing too. And another place you can't miss here is of course the chapel with a morgue. Yes, it's a bit creepy spot, but after walking through the main building, Andrew and I gotten used to it, so nothing really scares us now. Here we have this altar. There is also something like a table. I'm not really sure what it is, but there used to be more medical equipment here, and further down there is a small room where the bodies were kept. We were walking around and found a new spot. Most likely this building used to be a cinema. You can see the steps here, and there was a stage, but for some reason this place doesn't show up on the maps. We just walked by and spotted it. The complex also had a laundry, a car showroom, staff dormitories and shops. This hospital was truly a self-contained town, offering all the essential services. Patients could shop in the stores and doctors had separate living quarters. And finally, I suggest we head down to the basement. We found an entrance. There are actually many entrances around here. Oh, you can immediately smell the dampness. It's so quiet here. Such a strange atmosphere. Oh. It's a bit scary to walk around. The deeper we go, the creepier it gets, because it's quiet and dark. The flashlight keeps shining and sometimes I hear weird noises. I keep thinking I hear a dog or something else, but it's okay, Andrew's here to calm me down and we've got the flashlight. It's probably just people walking around. I used to only watch stuff like this in videos, but I never actually walked through places like this before. On one hand, it's a shame that a place with demand and potential for development has fallen into decay and turned into ruins, but on the other hand, it's now a unique attraction in Legnica that not many people know about. Be sure to share your thoughts on this place in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue traveling with us through the cities of Poland in an atmospheric and engaging way. Meanwhile, we've made our way to the local market square. The old town of Legnica is really atmospheric and beautiful in terms of architecture. There are many memorable places here: churches, the town hall, historic buildings, and more. We'll focus on a few of them. Up until 2004, this place wasn't as colorful and cozy as it's now. It was actually rather sad looking until it was renovated, so we could enjoy its beauty and elements of the past. As soon as we arrived here, from the very first steps into the old town, I immediately like it, because there are absolutely no people here. It's 8:30 in the morning, Saturday. I don't know, maybe there is a holiday or something, but there is literally no one around, not a single tourist. It's just Andrew and me filming, and it feels really comfortable. Just look at this beautiful building. It's probably the most charming house in the old town, so unique because there are so many details here, almost like a wall story is depicted, and on the corner there is a very aesthetic balcony. Near the old town hall, you will find the 8 Heron cottages. Their name comes from the Heron traders who ran their business here back in the Middle Ages. Right here there is also a lover's well, which was created in the 15th century. We take a couple of steps, or maybe a little more, and we are right at the old town hall. By the way, it's interesting that Legnica has 2 town halls, the old one and the new one. Remember how the old one looks. Among all the spiritual places, I'd like to highlight the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. It's a very majestic building that you definitely won't miss while walking through the old town. Both this cathedral and the Heron cottages remind me a lot of Gdańsk. If you watched the episode about Gdańsk old town, you will probably remember St. Mary's Church, which looks very similar to this one, and the overall architectural styles of the city as well. Right next to the cathedral there is a small cozy square, where you can take a break during your walk. And here's the new town hall. If I didn't know better, I might easily mix them up, because for me this one looks older. And of course we can't forget about the famous Julek. In fact, Julek isn't the only sculpture by Legnica sculptor. Edward Mirovsky created a wall series called The Children of Legnica. First came Julek, then Florek, and then they completed the trio. Originally we planned to go to a restaurant called Tradycja. It has high ratings and a lot of reviews, but we couldn't make a reservation in advance because we didn't know when we'd finish filming. So after shooting we went there, but unfortunately it was fully booked. That's when we decided to go to the second most popular restaurant, called Tivoli. By the way, this is the oldest private restaurant in Lower Silesia. The ratings are a bit lower, but there are still plenty of seats and it's quite cozy here. So we ordered 2 servings of żurek, 1 regular and 1 in bread. We also ordered pierogi, which will brought to us later. Let's give it a try. This is a tasty żurek. We've had a lot of them in different cities, so we have something to compare it to. We've had both bad ones and really good ones. This one is rich and quite sour. I like it. I'm glad I got it without bread, but Andrew said it's also delicious and fitting with bread. You could easily get full with just that, and I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5, but I'll say 5 out of 5. It's a really tasty żurek. Our pierogi have arrived. Welcome. So we've got 15 pierogi. This set is called pierogi babuni. There are 3 types, 5 of each, but honestly it's not clear which is which, so we'll just randomly pick and try. There are pierogi with meat, mushrooms and cabbage. And wow, it really smells like homemade pierogi. Let's give them a try. Oh, and there are also some crispy bits of bacon. I got cabbage and mushrooms, but the cabbage is actually pretty sour, looks like it's sauerkraut. It's a little bitter, but still tasty and pleasant, and the duff is soft. So I'll give it a thumbs up for now, but we'll try all of them and I'll give you the final verdict at the end. So let's wrap it up. We finally finished eating, well, almost. We've got 2 pierogi left, but we honestly can't eat another bite. That 3 dishes cost up 85 zloty, which is actually pretty good, considering how filling and tasty everything was. It really felt like homemade food, simple in a good way, but full of flavor. What did we like? Definitely the cozy atmosphere, the fact that there weren't many people, the quick service, and of course the taste. Oh, and the prices. As for the downsides, I'd say the menu could really use some pictures, the service could be improved a bit, and I personally didn't like the sour pierogi. Other than that, it was a nice experience, so 4 out of 5. And honestly, 4 is already a great rating, 5 is more for that wow level. Another fascinating spot in Legnica is the Piast Castle, one of the oldest castles in Poland, with roots going all the way back to the 8th century. It started out as a defensive outspot and eventually turned into a castle, or rather castles, because so much has happened here over the centuries. It was rebuilt, burned down, restored, expanded, damaged, and changed hands many times. Through all of this, the Piast Castle has absorbed 5 different architectural styles: Romanesque, Gothic, Neo-Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque. Places with such rich histories really make you pause and reflect on how much transformation they've undergone and how many lives have crossed paths with them. Continuing our walk through Legnica, and as a park lover, I just couldn't skip the cozy stuff. Long ago, goats used to graze here, but now it's home to ducks and swans. At first glance, you might not expect much. Cars drive by on both sides, and the pond itself isn't very big, but wow, it's surprisingly cozy and peaceful. Thanks to all the surrounding trees, especially in the warmer months when the leaves are still on, it feels so inviting and calming. And today, with this perfect autumn weather, it's just the ideal place for a walk. But if the goat pond felt like a green demo version, then the city park across the road is the full experience, or more like its grand continuation. This park is incredibly old, with roots going back to the Middle Ages, just like the Piast Castle. But hey, a park is a park, so let's skip the boring historical facts and just soak in the cozy autumn atmosphere. In the end, I can honestly say that Legnica is a cozy, compact and charming little city with its own unique twist, especially that abandoned hospital, which makes for a super cool one-day adventure. So overall, I'm leaving with nothing but good impressions. Can't say a single bad thing about it. But how about you? What did you think of Legnica? Let me know in the comments and tell me which place surprised or impressed you the most. And as always, I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye!